Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous episode 154. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host
Dane Cody.
Dane, Cody, and I get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like.
Yes.
Primarily video games, actually 99.9% video games, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, PC, arcade. Oh wait, there's no arcades.
Hey, there's still a few arcades left.
Actually, I guess there are in like the big cities. We don't have.
I mean, there's one right across the street from PAX every year.
That's true. I just didn't think we don't have one where I'm from. They're just done.
That's your fucking problem.
But I guess in the big cities, you got GameWorks and is Dave and Buster's is the other one.
Hey, don't look at me. We ain't got one around here, but there is one in Seattle. There's a GameWorks. I actually don't know. There might still be some sort of an arcade type thing in the mall in Metrotown. I want to say there might be some sort of an arcade-like GameWorks style thing. There used to be a huge Palladium there that had like a ton of different.
That's right. That was that was awesome. The theater and the big arcade, right?
Yeah, but now the arcade is gone. The theater's still there, but the arcade is gone. So
I'm like, why am I thinking about arcades? And it's like, oh yeah, I was listening to a podcast about Street Fighter 2. And I was alive and partook in that era of the arcade scene kind of really blowing up.
Heck yeah, man.
Around Street Fighter.
That was an awesome time to be alive.
Very nostalgic period of time for me. And it was pretty freaking rad because, you know, when your cousin owns an arcade, that makes for some good times.
That seems all right.
Yeah. Fuck, I remember Street Fighter 2, man. Ah, that was amazing. Anyway, getting all nostalgic there.
I remember spending all my lunch money and everything in the arcade, like wanting to play. And oh man, heck yeah.
It was so bad. Before my cousin actually owned the arcade and he'd hook us up.
Yeah.
It was owned by someone else. I think it was an older couple who owned it. It was in our local mall, like one strip mall. We're in the small town that I grew up in. And of Campbell River, BC, if you're really interested.
Ooh.
Fishing town, mill town.
Yeah.
They've grown quite a bit now. I think
still not a big town, though.
I think they have more than the one mall now. I think they have a Costco, I'm pretty sure. So they're not that off the map anymore. But, yeah, we used to go down there before he owned it. And literally, I remember, like, stealing quarters out of my mom's purse. Like, that was a regular occurrence. We didn't take money. We didn't take bills. We were better than that.
You're smarter than that, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, not better exactly. Smarter. The bills would get noticed. A couple of quarters here and there wouldn't get noticed.
Exactly. That's the real thing right there. That's
and then
funny.
We go down there and freaking play our hearts out. Oh, that's such an awesome experience.
Yeah, it's actually sad when I think about it that the kids today won't get to experience that.
And the pre-internet era, not knowing how to do moves in the game, the one guy who figures it out and shares it, or the one guy who knows how to do something who doesn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Then you could lord it over all the underlings. Yeah.
I was pretty good at Street Fighter. I could hold my own.
Yeah, no, I
don't think so much anymore, but I think I'm still the best in my group of friends, but...
Oh, fair enough.
If I go online or meet real people, I don't think I'm any match for them. Moving along.
Yeah.
I worked this weekend. I don't have anything really exciting to report. I did go see Infinity War.
Lucky.
Which I will talk about during the free-for-all section.
Nice.
Welcome, listeners. Sorry about the little tirade there. If you've been here before, you know the deal. We just left the BS section. We're going to get into some what you've been playing. We talk about all the goodies we've been checking out. And then some news and stuff. Our public service announcements. And, of course, as I just mentioned a few seconds ago, our free-for-all. If you have been here before, you are aware of our special 150th episode SNES Classic Mini Giveaway.
Is that your really bad radio voice?
Yeah.
It was bad. You shouldn't do that again.
Yeah, I should be on the radio.
Wait.
It's perfect.
Aren't we on internet radio right now?
Yeah, but you have to have bad radio voice to be on the radio.
Oh, got it.
That's why we're on the internet.
Because we're good?
Yes.
Oh, man, that's what I've been so confused about these last while.
I was supposed to have the entries organized and do a random number generator and pick someone for tonight's show, but life has a way, and it got its big fat booty in my way, and I didn't get to that. So I'm going to have to do that next episode.
All right.
So the good news is, if you're lazy and you still haven't entered,
you have one more week.
You essentially have until next week's podcast.
And that's just because Rick is lazy.
Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate everyone who's left a review for us on iTunes. And if you haven't, please do. And you will be entered in our contest. There are links in the show notes with more information on that. And of course, all over our social media posts. I've been a little quiet the last few days for some reason. I've just been crazy busy. There's just been so much stuff going on, like not fun stuff, just work and family and crap.
That happens. I understand.
So
that.
Stay tuned for that. I'm going to do that live while we're recording. Basically going to take all our entries, put them in a list, and just associate a number to everyone who has left a review, and then basically just hit the random number generator, pick a number between 1 and however many entries we have, and that'll be our winner.
I like it.
So right now it's 1 and I think it's 22 reviews or 23. Someone said they left a review and it hasn't shown up yet, but they take a while to show up.
Okay.
I guess iTunes vets accounts to make sure they aren't fake or gaming the system or whatnot. So
fair enough. That sounds legit.
I think for our next giveaway, I'm going to do a Google Home Mini.
Ooh.
I bought one at a silent auction for a fundraiser.
Okay.
So I guess I totally didn't do anything this past weekend. We were at a silent auction fundraiser thing, and they had a couple cool things. They had like the full Google Home Mini, but I'm like, I don't need that. But I managed to snipe bid a Google Home Mini for like $30. So
okay,
Canadian. So that was like a bargain. But I don't really need another one because I have like 3.
You have 3 Google Home Minis?
Well, 2 minis and 1 full size.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, 1 in the kitchen, 1 in the office, and 1 in the gym.
Okay, fair enough.
Have I not told the story on the air about what I do with them?
Yeah, that's true. No, I didn't realize for whatever reason that you had 3 of them, though.
I added a couple more. I used to have just the 1 in the kitchen.
Yeah, I was going to say, so, okay.
It's pretty great. Like when I'm in the gym, I'm like, hey, Google, play some Black Panther soundtrack.
Pump me up music so I can pump the iron.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's some cool functionality that's coming to Google Home that I'm aware of, but I can't speak of because it's like super confidential.
Oh.
That I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, my wife is like, fuck that. None of that shit in our house. Don't even add. Like, nope. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. To be honest, I don't really care, so it doesn't really...
Yeah.
It's fine. Our house is so tiny anyways that it takes me 5 steps to get across the whole house, so it's like, whatever.
It's pretty cool. I've said it before. Like, I have them all programmed, like, play music in the kitchen or play music here, and it's like, just basically I'm talking to Jarvis in my house, so it's pretty rad. But yeah, anyway, I won this thing, and I'm just like, I don't really need another one, do I? Because I don't really have another room to put it in unless I put it in the bedroom, but I don't think I really need one in there.
Yeah, fair enough. That's cool.
So I think I might have it for our next prize after the SNES.
Ooh, well, there you go. Something to look forward to for our listeners.
Yeah, so moving along. Let's get into some what you've been playing, Dane. I
Yes.
have been playing
Yes.
a few new games.
Yes.
After, I think, after we recorded, but before we published, last week, I platinumed God of War.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's done. There's actually still more stuff I can do in the game, but I have platinumed it.
I hear actually a lot of people are really like enjoying going back after they beat it and playing more.
Yeah. It's not hard. It's so good.
That's cool, man. I unfortunately had some family emergency stuff on the weekend and had to make a non-planned visit to some family. Everybody is sort of okay, but there's going to be some fallout from said visit at a later date. But I'll save everybody the details. But it meant that my gaming for the weekend definitely got cut much shorter / destroyed pretty much. So I didn't get a ton of gaming in, which in this case really means it was a bummer because I was wanting to get some God of War in because everybody's been talking about how awesome God of War is. And I keep hearing about people that is like, oh yeah, man, I just finished the God of War and I want to go back and keep playing it. It's so good. And so like, yeah, that you're not the first person to tell me that. So,
and you're like, oh, tear.
Yeah. And it's definitely been much, much slower than I normally seem to manage to get through games. So even one of the guys at work was like, oh yeah, I just finished God of War last night. Oh my God, it's so good. Like, and I'm just like, don't say a fucking word.
You're like, you asshole.
Yeah. So he understands my predicament, but it's just funny because the guy with, 2 kids at home that doesn't generally get much time to play video games, and he's already
beats God of War.
Yeah. Faster than I managed to. So that was he's kind of giving me a hard time about it. So, but yeah. So you platinumed it though, like that's pretty rad, man.
Which I don't platinum a lot of games. It's not hard. You could do it in one playthrough.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of backtracking. It's amazing that on day one of release of that game, there was already like full like achievement or trophy guides.
Wow,
which is ridiculous. So the guys who got the game early that make those videos, just basically the entire game was online at launch, which is crazy.
Right.
So I had to use a couple of those to find some of the collectibles.
Yeah, I've heard some of the crows can be a little tricky.
Yeah, it's not too bad because the map shows you what you're missing in each area. So you know exactly what area
that's
you
nice.
have to go. So you're not totally like have to backtrack through the entire game. And with the fast travel system, it isn't too bad. But there'll still be some backtracking.
No, fair enough. Like,
so yeah, I planned that, and then I was like, I'm in a weird state right now. Like, I didn't know what to play. I'm like, oh, do I go back to Nier or Neo? Do I start something new? I had Nino Kuni staring at me. Well, not really, because it's digital 2. And on my PC.
Right.
Pardon?
Yeah. Nino Kuni II.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I should play that. I really like the first one. And then I've been watching all these videos of Yakuza 6 online, and I'm like, oh man, that looks pretty rad. I should buy that. I got $50 credit on Amazon. So, the next big release is like what? Detroit? I guess we got...
Yeah, Detroit's coming out soon.
And I guess we got the Destiny expansion next week, but it's like, I'm kind of just in a state of comatose, just like not knowing what to play.
Yep. If I didn't have God of War and Far Cry 5 to finish still, I would probably be in a similar boat. But unlike you, I would probably just pull something out of my back catalog and keep playing that.
That's kind of what I did, sort of.
Okay.
I was like, oh yeah, the VR update came out for Wipeout.
Oh, right.
I'm like, I should try that. I'm like, that's the whole reason I bought that game on sale for $10 like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
In anticipation of this update. So I launched it, and I'm like...
And you immediately got sick.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, this is really weird. I'm like, this doesn't seem like it's in VR. And it's like notification. update, download. Like, oh, god damn it. I haven't played it in so long that it didn't auto-download the update.
Of course.
So, anyway, I quit the game, downloaded the update in a couple minutes because my internet's super fast.
I hate you.
And then I relaunched it, and I was like, that's better. And played Wipeout VR, or Wipeout Omega Collection in VR.
And so, how are the additions?
Fucking rad.
Yeah?
It's so cool. I didn't get sick.
That's key. I mean, that is pretty much the biggest key. It's really neat. They've actually... Wipeout already on the PS4 is amazing. It's like 4K, 60 FPS. It's beautiful. Right.
And it's Wipeout. Like, who doesn't like Wipeout? High-speed, futuristic racing in crazy environments, super vivid, fluid, colorful landscapes. There's weapons. It's a little bit of Mario Kart, but with like missiles and bombs and stuff.
Do you ever remember a game called Extreme G?
Yes.
That was similar to Wipeout,
I think kind of. Was it first or second?
I don't remember, to be totally honest with you. It was a little bit more focused on the combat side of things, I want to say. Whereas Wipeout, it was like the weapons were kind of an not an afterthought, but it's very light.
Yeah, it take like the missiles and weapons. Yeah, Extreme G. It was N64. That probably is before Wipeout.
I remember playing Extreme G on the PlayStation.
Yeah, it might have been PlayStation as well. Those are like speeder bikes.
Yeah, you're on like these crazy fast, futuristic motorbikes that had guns and rockets. And then you would also pick up power-ups like in a Mario Kart game that would allow you to shoot more rockets and guns and mines and everything else as well. And it was kind of like a grown-up Mario Kart. But you also had a machine gun on your bike that you could use to, you
said PlayStation 2, right?
I definitely played it on PlayStation 2. I definitely played it on PlayStation 1, I want to say.
G.
And I definitely know I played it on the N64 as well. I want to say I played it on the original PlayStation. But I
feel like it might have been on Xbox even. I'm just looking at images for it. Anyway, back to Wipeout.
Yeah, sorry. We were talking, you know what? It was I totally lied.
Yeah, they're very
apparently that was a place that was sorry, that was an N64 game. So yeah, it was fine. N64 97. So I thought for some reason there was a second one that came out on another one, but apparently Acclaim filed for bankruptcy and the game never went anywhere after that. So
it didn't?
No,
I swear I saw a cover art for a PS3 version. Or a PS2 version.
Oh, I lied. Sorry. It was followed by Extreme G2 in 1998, also for the N64.
Yeah, I think it was... Anyway.
Yeah, sorry.
So Wipeout...
Similar type of game.
Similar, super fast. Yeah, maybe less combat, but it's just beautiful. It's silky smooth. It's all about high speed, taking those corners, time trials.
Yep.
Placement races. There's different modes as you race through the different cups. So some races will be strictly like, time trial, or your regular get placed in the top 3, and so forth. And in VR, the cars are totally different.
Oh, okay.
The way they do it, and I guess this is like you said, did you get sick immediately? Is to like combat the like, I don't know, the movement of the car, like going side to side.
Yeah.
Basically, the cockpit in the car almost is like on a gimbal, and the car rotates around the cockpit.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, So
your cockpit is always level with the ground.
Right.
And the car like kind of rotates around the cockpit in the center of the ship. So the cars actually look different in the VR version.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Huh.
Yeah, so the screen isn't crazily banking left and right as you're doing these super fast turns, which helps.
How does that? Well, does that take away some of the like sense of speed and stuff though?
No. It's still super fast.
Huh.
It just helps with settling that side to side motion that would potentially make you want to throw up. There might be settings that you could go crazy more advanced mode, I guess.
Interesting.
But it's fine. It controls awesome. It looks really good. It is, compared to other VR racing games or VR games in general, it's less of a graphical downgrade than most others are when you go into like a VR mode. Like it still looks really good. It's super impressive and it's super smooth.
Wow.
I think I played like 7 or 8 races. Like almost completed like every event in one of the cups.
That's awesome.
I have the last cup to do. Played for a good hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
That's about.
And I will say,
I find that's about a good amount of time in VR before I want to take a break.
It was getting close to bed too, so I had to quit. But it was rad. I think it's awesome.
That's dope, man.
It's a wicked VR mode, and they put a lot of thought into it, and they killed it. It's plays so well. Like it's still Wipeout. It's not like a different game. Like, you know how I don't know, some VR games just totally change the gameplay with trying to shoehorn it into the VR, right?
Right.
I'm so impressed at how well it plays and how good it looks. I will play more. I will say it's one of my favorite VR experiences thus
cool.
far.
That's actually really exciting.
And it's got that same kind of like that Star Wars cockpit kind of thing. You look down, there's the joysticks, all these buttons around you. You can look in all directions. And I find
think
in
about
a really
pod racer VR game.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of funny that you mentioned that. It really does. It does really feel like a pod racer almost.
That's awesome.
I find myself in the really big sharp turns where I'm cutting in. I'm actually looking ahead down the track.
Right.
You know, which is like something you can't do when you're playing it normally in, you know, first person or behind the car view when you're playing it in non-VR, right?
Right. Yeah.
So like, I got really good at like leading my turns and like planning my exit and so forth. It was cool. It was rad. I liked it a lot.
That's awesome.
I don't know, mate. It could potentially make people sick. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would probably depend. I don't know. Maybe I'll see if I pick it up on a cheap sale. I might do the same.
Excuse me.
As a quick aside to our previous conversation about Wipeout, it came out in 95, so it actually predated Extreme G by a little bit. So there you go.
Yeah, I think it was PlayStation 1.
Yep, it was the original PlayStation. Yeah,
I got it for $10. And that's like the full game. It goes on sale every once in a while on the PlayStation Store. So if you were like for $10, it's amazing. Like it's probably one of the best VR experiences on the PlayStation VR.
That's
so
awesome.
Right now, like Super Hot and Wipeout Omega Collection are like two of my. If you've got a PSVR, you've got to get those. I'm probably going to pick up Moss one day when it goes on sale.
I was just going to say that is my next VR purchase for sure. I don't know if I'm even going to bother waiting for it to go on sale. I feel like those guys, from what I've heard, that it is a game that like they deserve your money.
I can't remember if it's $30 or $40.
I'm not sure what it is in Canadian, to be honest. So
I was looking at it in the PlayStation Store.
I have a $50 gift certificate to the PlayStation Store. So I may do that.
It's $40 Canadian.
Yeah.
$39.99.
Yeah.
I was looking at it.
I very much might do that.
I'm
just
like,
because
I have so many games.
I know. But I'm hearing such incredible things, and people are just saying like Moss is like, in a way, one of the first like must-play VR games, which is pretty exciting.
It is cool. From the demo's out there. You can download the demo.
Oh, nice. I haven't played the demo, so
there's the PlayStation VR demo disc 2. You can download it from the store.
Oh, sweet.
And there's a demo to Moss in there. They might have a separate demo now, which
right.
I didn't see it linked on the store link I was just looking at. So I went from that to actually what's probably got me most hooked right now.
Okay.
Which has me very split because it's another one of these. Oh man, I wish it was on Switch. I'm playing Steamworld. Oh, actually, no, it is on Switch.
I was just gonna say, dude, it is on Switch.
It just came out recently. Oh, but I got it for free, so that makes it hard to go and buy it again. Steamworld Dig 2 is part of Twitch Prime's free games last month.
Yep.
Which I did bring up in a news story probably a month ago saying, hey, there's all these games. This one's probably the good one or best one. So I finally got around to playing it. And at first I was like, oh, this seems kind of cute.
I hear real good things about that game.
It's, I don't know the roguelike elements to it or if there are any, but
the first one didn't.
It didn't. It was a pre-authored world.
Yeah. I mean, I think there was some randomness as far as like how and where certain things ended up.
Location of,
but like if you died, you would just start over. Like it wasn't your like what I would think of as a roguelike, is at least I don't know. Because I'm not usually the biggest fan of roguelikes. Like you
maybe it doesn't have any roguelike.
You just, as far as I'm aware, when you die, you just go back and get your stuff. Like
it's just a platformer action adventure Metroidvania. That's what they say here on Wikipedia. So you play as little robot Dorothy, looking for Rusty, who is, I think he's the hero of the first game, or Steamworld Dig and Steamworld Heist. He's one of the characters, and he's gone missing.
I didn't play Steamworld Heist, but we did play. My wife played through all of Steamworld Dig 1 and beat it, actually. So
yeah, I think you said that last week or the week before.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dorothy's hunting for him, and basically, you come to this little town, and basically the mayor's like tasked you with some, the mines collapsed. I need you to go down there and, get the elevator working, or we need this and we need that. And he gives you little missions to do.
Cool.
And basically it's like Dig Dug.
Yeah, a little bit of that. You dig down, and there's a little bit of puzzle solving as far as how you need to dig, and sometimes there's rocks, and if you dig directly under them, they can either crush you or they'll destroy things that were sitting underneath them.
Yeah, you might lose out on some of the loot.
Yeah, but you can also you have to kind of be careful as well, because you don't want to get yourself stuck. So you gotta does this one have the light and the ladder mechanics? You can buy ladders to help
I haven't bought any ladders or needed ladders because she can wall jump.
Yeah, you can do a really
so she can you can wall jump right out of the tunnels that you dig. So
yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I don't know if there's any need for ladders. Maybe you can build ladders to access stuff if you accidentally dug or destroyed stuff, like you said.
Yeah.
So Dorothy, she starts out with a pickaxe. You have a backpack with so many slots, and like Dane was alluding to, you have a light mechanic. Your
oil in your lamp runs out.
Yeah, your lamp radiates light, so you can see as you're digging down. And like I said, this is 2D picture, like my comparison to Dig Dug. You can see the type of materials that are in the ground, and you can see treasure even. You can see enemies. And as you upgrade your lamp, it'll light up more, so you basically get better vision. So you can plot out which direction you want to dig and go. But your oil runs out. You don't die when that happens, except for you can't see anywhere past the immediate area you're in. So it makes it a little harder to explore, but you can keep going without the lamp. So it's not total game over, man, but it is a little annoying because you don't know where you're digging besides where you immediately are. It's not very advantageous because you might miss out on a lot of loot or secret rooms.
You can also, I don't know about in the second one, but in the first one, you could also buy little torches that you could stick around so that in areas that you maybe had run out of light, you could stick a torch on the wall and keep that area kind of lit.
There might be a weapon or an item I can buy that does that. Right now, I don't have that.
Okay.
There are lamps in the underground that you can light when you find them.
Okay. So
and they will cast light.
Yep. So they might have changed it a little bit. I know it was an item that you would buy at the surface in the first game.
You might be able to.
So
I've unlocked like the next weapon. So like there's boss battles. Like I fought a boss.
Yep. And you got like an upgrade afterwards.
Upgrades.
Yeah.
Pardon?
You got an upgrade after you beat the boss.
Yeah, like there's different upgrades. I can't remember what the first boss gave. Oh, I can't remember what he gave me. Like so far I can run faster.
Yep.
So then I could jump across big gaps. I got like this little, I call it a missile launcher, but it's not really a missile launcher. You launch these little bombs.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you can shoot them up or across. They don't go too far. They probably go about like 4 or 5 squares. And then they blow up. But you can use them to basically, mine tunnels and places you can't reach because you can't jump and swing your pickaxe.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know if the first one's like that.
No, that's totally like the first one.
So you can't jump and like swing your pickaxe. So like Dane was saying, you have to kind of plan where you're digging if you want to access certain places, because if you dig down and remove the ground, you can't keep digging to the right because now you can't reach across that gap.
Yep, that's very much like the first one.
That's where that like missile thing that I got helps. So if there's a gap of blocks and like, oh, I can't dig over there, but there's treasure on that side, you can shoot a missile and then make a hole in the wall and then jump over there and then continue on your merry way. Yeah. So each time you go down, your backpack fills up. It's a little bit of Dark Souls-y, not really, but in terms of like your inventory gets full, you go back to town, you sell the stuff you get. You get different perks for your items that you can actually. Those are mods that you find. You find these little cogs while you're digging around underground, and you can mod all the items that you have and abilities with cogs, or just with the money you get, you can buy new items, abilities, upgrade.
Yep.
Upgrade your pickaxe. Upgrade your attack, upgrade your...
Is there steam boots in this one? Or
I don't know. There might be. The bombs are powered by water.
Yeah.
So there's like a tank you can...
you can increase. So in the first one... in the first game, you get this ability to do almost like you could do a double jump. And you could...
I don't have that, but that might very well be coming.
Yeah. And you would use the water... as like a steam jump. You would use the water to like shoot yourself up in the air.
Yeah. So then you could run out of it eventually, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you had to like be careful to make sure that you were paying attention and making sure to like suck up water whenever you saw it, because otherwise you could end up in a situation where you didn't have any. So yeah, it sounds like they've kept a lot of the awesome stuff from the first game.
You got your map. Like I said, you got your quests. Right now I need to go find some miners that are trapped down below. I'm not super far. I've unlocked a couple fast travel points, so
nice.
I can fast travel deeper in the mine.
Yeah.
There's tons of unlockables I haven't unlocked. It's got a really cool mod system with the cogs. So there's all kinds of perks like for your pickaxe and your boots and your health and stuff. There's different mods that you can use with cogs. So it's like, say, 1 cog. Oh, now your axe does this. Or 2 cogs. When you die, you lose less stuff.
Right. Okay.
They aren't permanent. You can take the cogs out of any mod and move them around.
Oh, that's cool. That's new for this game.
So that's really neat. So it's not permanent. So like if you don't need to boost a certain thing, you could move your mod points and other stuff.
That's really cool.
I only have about, like, besides the pickaxe and the little bombs, there, like I said, there's probably like 5. There's definitely like 6 or 7 things I haven't unlocked that are still hidden. Like I'm very early,
right?
But I'm really liking it. It's really fun. It's so easy to jump into. I haven't died yet.
No, that's fair.
Too difficult so far, but
it definitely.
I talk about it,
yeah.
And it's like
you want to play more of it.
I want to play it more, but then I'm like, I should just suck it up and buy it on the Switch.
Yeah,
I can just play it wherever I am.
It's like I said, that first game was fantastic. I was really impressed with that first game a lot. Very cool idea.
And again, that was through the Twitch Prime, so everyone else out there who has Twitch Prime, if you didn't add that to your account, well, you're missing out.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then I started Nino Kuni.
Oh.
I'm a couple hours into that.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel.
Yeah.
I like it, but I'm not in love with it. But I also haven't played it enough to...
I hear it has a bit of a slow start.
Yeah, it's not like God of War where it's like I knew that I just wanted to keep playing. Because I started Nino Kuni II before I started Steamworld Dig, but I want to play Steamworld Dig more than I want to play Nino Kuni II.
Oh, that's fair.
But it's just, I don't think I've gotten to the point where all the systems quite gel. Like, I've gotten to the open world. I got a couple party members happening now. I'm out of the immediate intro area. I do like it. I do like the combat. It's all like real time for the most part.
Right.
There isn't like any turn base. There is no monster catching like the original. So it's drastically different from the first game. And that might be where it's not hooking me, because I really like that kind of Pokemon-esque capture monsters system they had in the first one, and they do all your fighting. But I don't know. It's beautiful. It's cool. Like, it's a super JRPG. It's not bad by any means. It just hasn't got its hooks into me yet.
Okay. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I mean, does it have random encounters?
No, you see the enemies.
Oh, thank God. I was really curious to pick it up myself, but I was so paranoid about running into freaking random encounters. Like, that is just a thing now that I don't know. It really sucks because there's the new Square game coming out for Switch that everybody's been gooing and awing about.
Oh, what, that Octopath Traveler?
Yeah, and that game looks so cool, but it has freaking random encounters, at least according to the demo that I played, and I'm just it's an instant turn off to me. I was playing the demo and I ran into that, and it was just I don't have time for this anymore. I'm at a point in my life where no, if I need to go from here to there and there looks to be a clean path there, and now all of a sudden it could take me an hour because of random encounters, I'm not cool with that. I don't want to deal with that. And it sucks because I feel like I might be really missing out on some cool games, but this makes me happy that it doesn't have it, because that sounds
when you're in dungeons, you can see the groups of enemies.
Right.
And you just run up to them and start combat. It's immediate. There's no loading. On the world map, it just has a representation of there's an enemy, but usually it's a group of enemies when you walk into them.
Right. No, that's fair. I mean, I heard that game really opens up and goes into some really interesting kind of weird places later on. So
I heard there's a whole kingdom building element.
Yeah, the whole sim style kind of.
I think maybe when I get to that point, that's when the game will really change. Like I said, it's not bad by any means. It's good. It's a good game. The fighting, the combat system's great. It's all real time, light and heavy attacks. There's combos. Mm-hmm. There's spells. There's charging up, your skills to, through attacking with your weapon as you charge it up. Then you are able to do your different skills.
Right.
Which are the big heavy attacks, or there's ranged as well. It's good. It just doesn't have its hooks in me. Oh man, I want to go play that.
Right.
Right now when we're done, I want to go play Steamworld Dig 2. And there might also be a little bit of hesitation. It's okay, this game's a massive game.
Yeah, man. I'm hearing people that kind of didn't burn through it, but I'm hearing about people that didn't waste a ton of time, or 80 hours plus, which is a lot of time. Yeah,
that is a lot of time.
So, yeah.
Oh well, and I did get something else.
Yes.
which I can talk about having, and that's about it.
Oh.
I got Battle Chasers for Switch.
Nice.
Yes, but that unfortunately is embargoed until May 11th.
Oh.
So I can't say anything.
Fair enough.
The embargo didn't say anything, and I was like, I emailed the PR guy, and I'm like, can I say that I have it? And he's like, yep.
But that's
about it. No impressions, no reviews, no nothing. Obviously, the game's already out.
Yeah.
So what more can I say? There is stuff I would like to say, but I can't.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, anyway, I have it on
We all
Switch.
look forward to your impressions and to hearing more about it. I'm super curious. So
you should be getting yours soon, right?
I would hope.
Oh yeah, by the time we record next week,
Should be out, I think.
Nah, the embargo won't be up
Ah.
when we record next week. So
Yeah. Well, we have a little bit of time to talk about it.
Yeah. Anyway, you're a Kickstarter backer on that, right?
I was. Yep.
So
Kickstarter
you have it
backed
on.
I have it on PC already.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a PC code because initially I backed a Switch version is what I originally wrote down for or whatever, and then because it got pushed back as a goodwill gesture to all the people that kickstarted it, they gave free Steam versions out as well. So I've got.
So you're still gonna get it for Switch then?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
That was my plan. So, yeah.
I see that you are. I remember that you had your LAN party on Friday.
Yeah, so that was kind of the one aspect of my weekend that did stay kind of on track. Was we did our office LAN party on Friday night, and we played Fortnite. So that was my first time playing Fortnite. And it was also a little bit. I know. It was also a little bit interesting because I was feeling like a lazy bastard, and I didn't feel like dragging my great big honking tower into the office, which I normally do when we have video game nights at the office.
Yeah, it can be pretty cumbersome taking it all apart.
Yeah, and then at the end of the night, you got to pack it all back up, put it in your car, and then
when you just want to be in bed.
Yeah, and then for me, I got to lug it all the way down I have to park outside. So if it's raining or anything like that, and then I got to hike it from my car back into my apartment, and I have very long hallways that I have to trudge that thing down. It's just just a giant pain, and it's not small. It's heavy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I decided, like I said last week, for anybody that listened last week, I was going to be testing out the GeForce Now beta.
Which you have already. Last week you said you had with pretty good results with Far Cry 5.
Yeah, exactly. But Far Cry 5 is a single player game.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure. That was the only kind of concern of mine. And I was like, because I was thinking okay, Far Cry 5 worked really well. It's a single player game though. And it's, if there is a little bit of noticeable lag or whatever, I'm not really going to notice it because it's a single player game. And also, if my connection gets a little bit interrupted, it's not the biggest of deals, because again, single player game. So I had tested it a bunch, and I was very impressed with the results, to be fair. But I thought, all right, well, we'll give it a real run for its money, and we'll test it out at a LAN night. So I'm not going to bring in my computer. I'm going to use my work machine, which is like a micro PC, which is tiny. And we're going to try and use GeForce Now to stream. And I can honestly say it worked awesome. You guys really, really well. We streamed from, let's see, I started playing after work right around 5, probably about 5:30ish, give or take. I got off at I finished work at 5, but by the time, everybody actually kind of finished up what they were doing and guys set up and we all kind of started actually playing, it was about 5:30. And we stopped playing at around 11. We finished our last match a little after 11 o'clock. So, I mean, and I streamed with GeForce Now the whole time. There does seem to be a 4-hour connection limit, which I'm assuming is just to make sure that people don't jump on a server and then just idle there using up resources and bandwidth.
So it's like,
at a certain point,
like a beta thing, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
that would be my guess. Or it might even be like a limit in the actual game, like in the service itself, again, to make sure that people aren't just like playing a game, starting it, and using up that bandwidth. Because that is the key to GeForce Now. So if anybody's kind of interested in this, like, it's a little bit confusing for anybody that is kind of wondering what the hell I'm talking about. There's a couple of different services that obviously NVIDIA offers. There's the GeForce streaming within your house, which uses like your graphics card to stream from your main computer to like a laptop or another computer inside your house.
Or from your computer to a Shield device.
Yes, that's all like built in, part of the drivers, totally separate thing. They also offer a service which I can't remember I want to say I thought it was called GeForce Now, but it's a service where you pay money to buy games from them and then they stream them, like then you stream them as well. That's a different service than the one that I'm talking about. So the one that I'm talking about, it allows you to connect in from your computer into one of NVIDIA's servers, which is running some really skookum hardware. And then you're able to access all the games that you own. So you log into Steam or you log into Uplay, or in my case, you log into the Epic launcher. And then from there, you can launch Fortnite or you could launch Far Cry 5 or any of those games so long as you own them. If you don't own them, you would have to buy them just like any other, just as if you were sitting at home and you wanted to play a game you didn't own. Same idea. So it is literally just a way to access your games that are like sitting on Steam or on another one of these platforms at another location. So I connected into their servers and I stayed connected to them for hours. Like I said, at around 10-ish, 9:30 or something like that, I got a little pop-up that said, your session will expire in the next 5 minutes or something. But all I did was at the end of my match, I just closed out the service and logged back in, and I continued to play for the remainder of the evening. Though that being said, bandwidth is key with that service. And I don't mean a little bit of bandwidth. I was watching my network and my various other things because I was curious, what resources it was going to use. It used quite a bit of video card to decode the video. So I was a little bit surprised about that, but that all makes sense. And there's massive quantities of bandwidth though. There was times when I was playing Fortnite where I was peaking upwards of 45 megs a second to their servers that they were streaming down to me. So if you do not have good internet, this service is not for you. That being said, I was streaming at 1080p, 60 frames a second, everything cranked up as high as it would go as far as in the game. Looked beautiful.
You're essentially playing on a 1080.
Yeah. But no, I was really impressed. Everybody in my office couldn't believe that I was
you were playing these games on your crappy work computer.
Totally. They were just holy shit, you didn't need to bring your computer in, and yet you're playing all the games that we're playing. At one point, I jumped out and we played, or some of the guys were playing Counter-Strike, and I jumped in a very brief Counter-Strike match. Again, same thing. Logged into my Steam, boom, Counter-Strike. It just works the way you would expect it to. Jump back into Fortnite. They were sending me friend requests. I was accepting that. Not a problem, because it's all part of the Epic launcher, so it's all done within there. And then we would jump into a game. And I mean, in our case, because we were all in the same room, we were yelling at each other. So having like a Discord or something like that wasn't a problem. But because of the way the service works, like you could totally have Discord or whatever running on your system that you were using to stream the game on. So that wouldn't even be an issue if you wanted to do that. No, all in all, like I was really impressed with that service. Like almost to the point where I was like, man, if this was affordable enough, I could just about skip buying a brand new gaming PC and just use this all the time. Yeah. I was, like I said, I was really surprised.
It's an awesome service from the little I used it.
Yeah.
It's really confusing though, because I'm on a video site.
Yep.
And there's the GeForce Now you're talking about.
Totally.
And then there's a subscription GeForce Now on the Shield.
I know, which is a different name thing.
Yeah. Well, I know. It is and it isn't. It's the same, except for it's only available on Shield. It's $7.99 a month, and then it's a library of rotating games.
Right. So it's kind of like their Netflix of it in a weird way.
So I assume the performance on that is identical to the one that we're using. But the GeForce Now that we're using is to access your game accounts, your game library.
Exactly.
As opposed to their rotating Netflix style library.
And it's, I would, like I said, very surprised. If they priced this thing well, I could totally see myself subscribing to it.
Absolutely.
Just so that I could play whatever games I want from wherever I want.
At work.
Totally. Exactly. Or like,
get half an hour in here and there every once in a while.
Yep. Or, you came in early or whatever. And like it just allows you to jump in and play some games, and it works so freaking good. So that's my GeForce
really cool.
experience.
That's like super tried and tested way of checking it out. How did it go with the guys? Did the guys bring in their PS4s?
Yeah, so that was the other thing. So there's 2 guys with PS4s, and the rest of us had PCs. We played with the guys on PS4, no problem. After we became friends in the Epic launcher, they would just join our games or we would join their games. It was no problem at all.
You guys were playing squads?
Yep. Yeah, we played squads.
So
it was really funny.
Fortnite. You said it was the first time you played it.
Yeah, it was the first time I'd played it. The shooting, I feel like, is not super awesome.
See, I like the shooting in it.
But see here, so this was the only other thing that I wasn't sure about. I was playing, in this particular case, I was obviously sitting in front of my computer. Then there was lag from my computer to the streaming PC that the game was running on. And then there was another bit of lag from the streaming PC that it was running on to the Fortnite servers, right? So I was almost wondering if there was enough lag in there to make the gunplay feel a little bit weird. And I haven't played it on my computer at home or on another computer to see if that was what I was thinking, or if in fact it is just I'm not a big fan of the way the guns feel in that game. I'm not sure. So that was the only thing I kind of will say as far as that goes. I will say it's a really neat idea. It's got a lot more depth than I initially anticipated. I don't like the building aspect of it. I feel like that is, at least, and part of that is because I suck at it.
You part of that is just, and these guys build skyscrapers above you and rain down bullets on you like no tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because I don't know, and again, I don't know how much of it is just because I suck at it, so I don't like it, but it's an aspect of the game that I kind of don't have any desire to get better at.
Yeah, but you have to.
But that's the thing, right? If I'm going to play Fortnite, I definitely need to get better at building.
Yeah.
But it's not an aspect of the game that I don't really like, so I don't really want to. So
you can't ignore it, unfortunately.
Right. And so it's this weird thing. I will say that I went, I don't know how many rounds without killing a single person. And then it was really funny because I was in a squad with a couple other people and we managed to get to the very, very end. And the last guy, I ended up getting my very first kill, and it happened to be the last guy on the other team. And that was for the win and that was the one win that we actually got.
Nice.
All night. So that was pretty cool. So it was like my first kill and the first win all together accumulating, and everybody in the office was like, oh, like, so it was pretty sweet. You felt like you were really a part of something for, like it all kind of came together for you, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I will say, like, I don't know if it's a game that I would necessarily play like at home by myself. I don't know how much like I would jump into solos or whatever, but it's definitely a game that I can see us playing, at the office, and we definitely had a lot of fun. I could see myself playing it more with like other people, like friends around and things like that. Like it'd definitely be a good game for that. So yeah, I like, it was free and it was easy and it was great because the cross-platform stuff, obviously, with the guys that don't have PCs or whatever, so we were all able to play it. I mean, and then all that stuff worked really well, which I think all of us kind of like crossed our fingers at the beginning of the night and went like, well, here's hoping. But it all just, we would jump in a game and they would join our game or we would join their game, and like we would say, here we go, and off we went. Like it was surprisingly smooth. Seeing as like I was using GeForce Now and we were playing cross-platform, and yet I don't think we had a single time that night where like we all tried to jump into a game and like half the squad didn't make it, or you know what I mean? Like just those weird things that you generally run into with, at least with a lot of games that I've played over the years. It's like, oh, okay, we're all going to join our squad. Okay, now our squad's going to join a game. And half are like, these three guys got dropped out of the squad when we were joining the game. And so now, you know what I mean? We didn't have anything like that. It was all pretty much flawless all night. We would just like join in, play. And, yeah, honestly, there's a lot more strategy in that game than I kind of anticipated. And I don't know why I didn't think there would be. Like when you think like, 100 people drop into a map, like of course there's going to be strategy, but like, I don't know, like picking the right spot to sort of go to at the beginning. And obviously it's a spot where there's not a ton of people so that you can get some weapons and stuff and maybe get a kill or two, but then kind of outlive that initial like crazy rush of like probably the first 50 people being killed. And then once you kind of get down into that, it's like a mix of this trying to stay far enough out from the middle, but yet not get killed by the circle at the same time. Like there's a lot of, and obviously knowing the maps well enough to kind of have an idea of like where stuff may or may not be. It was cool. It was, we had a lot of fun. It's definitely
a fun game. I really like the squads. The squads is the best way to get better at the game.
Yeah. And like we, like when we played Overwatch, we had a lot of fun, but it was also definitely like when you're playing with 5 people versus 5 people in Overwatch, you're pretty much always getting stuck with the people that are awesome
and getting your ass kicked.
Yeah. And then you're like waiting and you're waiting for another game because you're trying to load in another team of 5. So you're waiting for another team of 5. Whereas in this, it was so easy. Like we would just die and we just jump right into another game.
Yeah. It's such lower consequences to losing. So it's not getting tense or anyone getting upset.
Yeah, exactly. So like it was perfect for all of that. Like I said, we're already talking about doing another one in the not too distant future. So yeah, there will definitely.
How many guys are there?
We had enough people for 2 squads of 4, so we had 8 guys at the office this time. So yeah, it just like worked out that we had the amount of people that could make it that night was like perfect for 2 squads of 4. So
is everyone like wearing headsets and stuff?
We're just kind of yelling at each other around the room. And
yeah, I guess you don't really.
And like sometimes we would just like if a guy died that was on the squad, but maybe he was, but maybe some of his other squad was still continuing on. we would just kind of make makeshift squads while, you know what I mean? Like where you had like, oh, well, us four have died. So like, why don't we just jump into a game and wait for these other guys to finish? So like there was not a whole lot of downtime. It worked really well for like everybody to just continue to kind of like, oh, here, we'll join my squad then. And we'll just keep playing. And so yeah, it was good.
That's awesome.
It was really good.
We haven't done a LAN night in a long time.
Yeah. And like I said, man, that friggin' GeForce Now, like as long as you've got the internet for it, like that is the one thing. That is the one thing. Like I said, I saw peaks of over 45 megs a second, which if you've got the internet is great. Like I had a couple guys at the office that were downloading like games and updating stuff on Steam and whatnot. So at one point, like I like looked over to one of my coworkers and was like, what the fuck are you doing? What do you do? You have to be downloading. He's like, yeah, I'm downloading like Overwatch and blah, 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 blah. And he was like downloading like 4 games. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Because yeah, like you definitely, I was noticing like the quality went from like 1080p 60 to down to like, at one point, the worst I ever saw it, and it was only during that one little blip, it dropped down to like 540p. Just because the bandwidth wasn't there, right? So it obviously changes the resolution to try to compensate.
Because he was downloading something.
Yeah, so there wasn't the bandwidth that was there. So just keep that in mind. Like if you are, thinking about using it like this, you definitely need, I would say, in my opinion, I would say minimum of a 50 meg connection. Like a decent 50 meg a second connection. Which is probably about minimum for 1080p 60 gameplay. There are options to go higher than that in the game. That being said, I was a little bit bummed out because I have an ultra wide monitor at work and it doesn't support ultra wide resolutions. And I don't know if that's that Fortnite doesn't, or if it's just the virtual monitor that is attached to the streaming setup isn't like ultra wide, so you only get the widescreen options like the 16:9 or the 16:10, which was again not a big deal, like well worth it for me not having to like haul my computer into the office. So
that's sweet.
So yeah, I looked like a total rock star because at the end of the night, I just like logged off my computer and walked out. Like everybody else is like packing up their stuff. And that's the other thing too, is like I'm lucky because my setup as far as keyboard and mouse and headset at my office is exactly the same as the ones that I have at home. So I have the same mouse, the same keyboard, and the same headset at home and at the office. So for me, it's identical feel wise, like, so it's, so I don't even need to bring in my mouse and keyboard when we do LAN nights at the office. It's already there. So it's, doubly sweet. So yeah, overall, cool. Very, very good experience. I look forward to, I look forward to this beta ongoing, and I look forward to testing it out more and more. But like I said, is if they seriously price this thing properly, I will gladly buy it.
If it's $10 a month,
if it's $10 or less,
or a little over,
in my opinion, it would be worth it.
I'll top out at 15 would be the most I'd pay for it.
It would be fine because then I could always like sign up for it when I know I'm going to be away for a bit. Yeah, that's it.
When you need it,
and then just cancel it when you know you don't really need it.
Yeah. If it was $10, I would just leave it recurring. I wouldn't even bother canceling it, even if I didn't use it.
Exactly, that's the key, right? So.
Man, it sure as hell beats lugging an 80-pound computer. That's
exactly.
For sure. I think my tower, I swear, is like 80 pounds.
Well, I just ordered a new tower, and I think the new tower that I just ordered by itself is like 8 kilos or something, which is what, 20 pounds? I mean, it's not light. And that's before I put a power supply and a motherboard and a processor and a giant cooler and everything else in it. So, yeah.
Big ass video card.
Maybe 80 is pushing it, but I could definitely see if your machine weighed 30 or 40 pounds, it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, maybe 50. It's heavy.
Yeah. Do you have a full tower? Like one of the, like a full size, not even a mid?
Tower. It doesn't fit in the cubby hole of my desk. It has to be on the floor.
Yeah, mine.
If you dropped it out of a one-story building window, you could probably kill someone with it.
Yeah, you'd kill somebody. Yeah, that's like mine right now.
All right. Moving along.
That's what we've been playing.
That's what we've been playing. Let's get into some news and stuff. News.
Yes.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider had a new trailer. They actually had an event. I want to say it was in San Francisco or LA. So some people got hands-on. But I haven't heard anything of those hands-on impressions.
Maybe they were able to say they were doing hands-on, but they weren't able to say much more than that.
Embargoed, or maybe people did. Maybe it just was like a more of the same. I didn't really look it up, but I know people were down there playing the game. New trailer, some gameplay stuff leaked out on the internet. Hey, it looks like more Tomb Raider. It looks great. The trailer, unfortunately, is primarily CG. Yeah. I really liked that last game, so it's definitely on my radar. The only problem I have is it comes out the same, like within the same time frame as Spider-Man.
Oh, that's...
I know. Which I'm a lot more excited for. But
yeah, that is kind of a dumb move on their part.
I'm sure it's going to be pretty awesome, and I'm 110% positive that I will get hands-on with that at E3.
Fair enough.
So we will have more to say about that, but check out the trailer if you haven't. Sweet. Again, remember, this and every news story we talk about has links in the show notes. So if you're looking at your podcast player and you want to see this trailer, swipe over or click or however the hell you get into the podcast notes, and you'll see a little link there, and boom, you can see what we're talking about.
Very cool.
Stardew Valley's multiplayer is under public beta on PC. You can opt in on Steam. I have not tried this.
I have not either.
Yeah, if you have Stardew Valley on PC, you can opt in to the beta and check out some multiplayer.
It's weird. I'm not interested in multiplayer in that particular game. But I'm also very curious as to what the hell the multiplayer would even look like in that game. So I kind of want to play it just to see what the hell it is. But I'm not really interested in playing multiplayer in that game. Like, that is not why I play that game.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you have to build a cabin in your town, which is a home for a friend, which basically is the multiplayer.
Interesting. That's kind of cool.
Just reading here real quick.
Reading.
I haven't tried it. I don't really know anyone on PC who had it, because you had it on.
I have it on
PS4
and PS4.
Oh, okay. But your wife was playing it on PS4.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, and I have it on Switch too.
Just about friggin' platinum that game.
I totally forgot that I bought that on Switch.
Yeah, that's a rad game. The crap out of it for a little while.
Yeah, that was in our top 5 that year it came out.
Game is so good.
Stardew Valley with multiplayer, I imagine it just...
I'm just not sure, what you would... what would...
Good things better.
Would you have...
Double up on mats. Help your friend fucking crush the farm.
Yeah, I don't know what that would look like, that's all. It's such a weird concept to me.
I was trying to see here what, besides
do you help each other farm? Do you...
Yeah, I imagine you help them do whatever.
Yeah. I guess it'd be kind of cool if you could, run around and help them out with stuff, but if they could show up and, mess stuff up, I could also see that being a real problem, too, though.
Yeah.
They just show up and, start hoeing your whole garden out. You're like, no, you son of a bitch! Ah! That would suck. So I wonder sort of how they deal with all of that, or if they can't mess. Yeah, I don't know. I may have to investigate more and find out what the hell this looks like, just out of sheer curiosity.
To progress the day, everyone needs to be in their bed.
Okay.
And decide to sleep at the same time. Features and functions are shared across players. Your farm, money, and world updates are shared, for instance, while skills, NPC relationships, and inventories are all separate. Although an offline player's inventory can be accessed through their cabin chest. if you need something from them in a pinch. It looks like you can play up to 4 players as well. You can build 3 cabins.
Huh. Okay. Well, like I said, curious, but yeah.
There's a link in there with instructions and more details and how it works. So, there's a huge post here on Chucklefish's site. Anyway, good game gets better with multiplayer.
Fair enough.
FIFA 18 gets free World Cup mode in May. So for the World Cup in Russia happening this summer, they're adding World Cup mode to FIFA 18 for free.
Wow. So that's kind of cool.
Pretty cool. I wonder if it's permanent, because I feel like one of the old FIFAs had a World Cup mode and it wasn't permanent, which seems kind of stupid. They used to make it
almost exactly like what I would expect. Oh, it's out for this period of time, and then we take it away, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to make money off of,
Yeah, so usually they release the World Cups as like a standalone game.
Yeah.
So this is for free, and it doesn't say anything about time limited. That's sweet. I got my new the new Portugal warm-up jersey for this year's World Cup. I haven't got the home and the away jerseys yet.
Oh, wow. You're planning on all of them, eh?
I haven't got any new jerseys for a few years, so.
How are we looking this year? Portugal gonna go deep or what?
Oh, just won the Euro, dude.
Yeah? Euro's different than the world, man. Like, let's be honest.
Can we win the World Cup? I don't know.
Fair enough.
Would be amazing.
I mean, I know Canada's not, so I'm not too concerned about that. But,
Where are we? We're rated 4th in the world right now.
Who's rated 1? Brazil? Germany? Okay, yeah, that was my next
Germany,
guess.
Brazil, and Belgium in 3rd? What?
Really? Wow.
I guess they've been doing well in their games.
Wow, that's okay. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm not upset with 4th.
No, that's
Germany's got a
good
team.
They're always like freaking.
They're one of the best teams in the freaking world. They're always so solid.
Yeah,
that's gonna be exciting.
Where's this World Cup again happening?
Moscow in Russia.
Oof, that time zone does not work very well for actually being able to watch any games, though. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, I have no idea.
They'll either be happening like super during the middle of the day when I can't watch, or it'll be like at night when I'm sleeping.
Moving along, CD Projekt RED will have an RPG at E3.
I wonder what RPG that could be. That's actually interesting though, because they've pretty much come out and said before, like, look, don't expect to see anything about Cyberpunk 2077 or whatever, or 3077 or whatever it was, because it took us forever to release The Witcher 3, and this game is as big or bigger than that game. So like, this game isn't coming out for a while. So I'm almost wondering, like, if this is their kind of like, hey, here's some teasers and some stuff going on, but like, this game is still, I mean, I want to say that they were saying somewhere around 2020 for this game, but
yeah, I guess I have a feeling that this E3 might be the coming out party for Cyberpunk 2077.
That'd be pretty cool.
Rumors are closed door demos. That'd be pretty sweet.
That means I gotta get off my ass and finish The Witcher 3.
The Witcher 3 demo was like one of the best demos at, what was it, E3 2013 I went to?
Man, that was 2 years before the game actually came out though, right?
Yeah, it was... When did Witcher 3 come out?
Yeah, 2015.
That was at least 2 years before it came out.
Yeah, so I almost wonder if they're going to do a similar thing.
It came out in 2015, so it was almost... Yeah, no, it was 2 years.
Yeah. So
and that was a theater
thing.
demo by the devs, but they had beer there.
Yeah.
Cold glass bottled beer. It was great.
Beer.
So here's hoping they have this there and I get to see it, because not just because I just want beer. That I'm very interested to see that game. Like, we've had so much fantasy and modern time. There's just not enough sci-fi RPGs.
At least not like that. Like, that is such a sort of a unique take on it. So,
speaking of sci-fi, a comet has decimated the Fortnite map.
I'm fully aware of this.
Actually, it hasn't decimated it. Did you guys have the new map? It wasn't out, was it?
I'm pretty sure it was. There was one of the guys in our game almost got hit by a comet when we were playing.
Oh, so, maybe there was comets falling?
Yeah,
I haven't played Fortnite for like a month, but the actual crater hit, I think, on Monday.
Okay. Because there was definitely comets coming down.
Tuesday.
We literally watched a dude get taken out by one. We were like, whoa, that was crazy. Did you guys see that?
Yeah. So May 1st, the update came out. The main menu's different. Portions of the map have changed. A big section of the map has totally been destroyed. There's like essentially just cratered.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
New skins, new stuff, yada, yada, yada. The map totally changed. And there's some new stuff in there. Apparently, like, there's these weird, like, what are they called? Bouncing rocks or something?
I don't know.
Something to do with Comet, the meters that have hit the ground.
Oh,
I played one match. I'm like, cool, the map's different. Okay, I'm good. I think I'll play something else.
Fair enough.
I'll probably play more, but yeah, that's cool. They've refreshed it. They've added a bunch of stuff. That game's still killing it.
That's crazy growing fast, that's for sure.
Capcom is re-releasing Mega Man 2 and Mega Man X on cartridge, celebrating the 30th anniversary. Oh god, I'm old.
Wow, that's what I was just going to say. What kind of cartridge are they releasing on? Super Nintendo cartridge?
Well, Mega Man 2 is NES, and Mega Man X is SNES. Super Nintendo. They're limited to... how many are there? 8,500 copies. One in every 8 cartridge is a glow-in-the-dark one.
Oh, they're doing that again.
They come in a cool blue, like, color. At least the Mega Man 2 one does. There's a instruction manual, like, cool book with some artwork or box. Yeah, it looks sweet, man. I don't have an NES or a Super Nintendo, so...
Me neither.
But I was almost tempted to be like, I should buy one of these just for a giveaway. Because that's pretty cool.
That's such a weird thing.
The retro collecting and gaming is like huge right now.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
Like, it's really big. They got like the Retron 2, which is like a $30 HDMI NES.
Oh, wow. That's cheap.
Yeah. And it works with the original controllers.
That's also pretty sweet.
That's pretty
if you
cool.
can find any of the original controllers.
Like, even for like your shelf, like, that's a pretty iconic game. That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
$100 is pretty steep.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for that. And I bet you any money they're going to be like, yeah, this may or may not light your system on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
what game was that one?
That was their Street Fighter 2 cartridge where they did this same thing where they were like, hey, we're going to release a limited edition. And because your console is 30 years old, it may or may not light on fire. We do not take any responsibility.
Maybe Mega Man 2 is not as intense. It's not setting consoles on fire.
Yeah.
That bad cover art might, but not the cartridge itself.
Fair enough. I'm just saying.
New Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer came out today. I don't know if you had a chance to see it.
I did. It's very much a Rockstar Red Dead Redemption trailer.
heavy on story and character. Some teasing some of the plot of the game. There's a robbery.
There's there's like the tiniest glimpses of gameplay.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like a glorified like video of the game.
It's an in-game trailer, so
yeah,
not CG, but you can tell it's in engine.
Yeah.
John Marston shows up a couple times.
For somebody who didn't play the first one,
the main
what is
character.
that? Was that the main character in the first
he's
game?
the main character for Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
So definitely highlighting the fact that it's a prequel.
Right.
That game looks pretty. Speaking of Red Dead,
very pretty.
Speaking of Red Dead Redemption, I don't know if you saw my screenshot I posted on Instagram. I was playing it on the X because it was recently enhanced, and I was talking about playing it. That game looks real good on the X.
I was going to say it looked very smooth and very 4K.
It's super sharp. It's 4K. It's like native 4K. It's still only, I guess it's only, it feels like 30 FPS. It's not 60 because it doesn't feel silky smooth. But man, it looks like it's so sharp like you could cut yourself. It's a little jarring because compared to like say something like God of War, the detail of the textures isn't there, and they're not flat by any means, but because they're so high resolution, it's just like you could see that they're not as detailed. Like like God of War's got such a crazy amount of detail on every little piece of the environment, right?
I'm honestly like when I play God of War, I'm always every single time I've booted it up so far, I've been absolutely blown away with the level of detail.
Like, how the hell does this game look so good? And
it's
then
like just the amount of detail in just Kratos. Like you could see his pores for crying out loud. Like it is seriously crazy. Like his skin looks like skin. Like it's not just a smooth video game like map. It looks like freaking skin. Like it's crazy. Yeah.
So Red Dead on the X looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
I started playing it. I'm like just in the intro area still, and I'm like, oh, do I really want to invest? I'm like, I have so many other games I have to play, so I stopped playing. But man, if you've never played it, it's cheap on Xbox. I totally recommend checking it out, especially if you've got an X, man.
I haven't played it, but at this point, I'm not going to bother, and I will play it on. I'll play the second one when it comes out, maybe.
Yeah, when you play it on the X, it doesn't feel. It feels like an older game, but it looks like a new game. So it's not like it's awesome. Like that's the best part of the X.
Have they said yet whether or not Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out on PC?
No.
I hate that about Rockstar. Just fucking tell us whether or not it's going to come out on PC or not.
They did that with Grand Theft Auto 5, and it came out on PC eventually. So I'm sure this one will come out on PC.
But my point is they did a similar thing with the original Red Dead Redemption, and it never came out on PC.
Yeah.
And I fucking refuse. I will not buy one of their games twice because they're assholes about not telling whether or not it's coming out on PC. I will wait a year if it's going to come out on PC, because I know already that type of game. Like I've played enough Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto 4 to know that I would rather play that on a PC with a mouse and a keyboard.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it will. And they'll announce it later. That's the thing. And I bet you it'll be at least a year.
Oh, I just wish they would just come out and say it. Like, hey, we're coming out on PC a year later, instead of just
they want the idiots like me who can't wait, who will buy it twice.
I know. So angry.
Speaking of PCs, Steam now officially supports the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. So if you've got a Bluetooth-enabled PC in Steam, you can opt in the latest Steam beta, and then you can basically sync a Switch Pro controller with your PC.
Huh.
And play any of your Steam library games. I don't know if that gives it like system-wide supports. Like if you were to like say play Far Cry and Uplay, if it would work.
I don't see.
I don't see why
I see
not.
What you're saying, like, that's interesting. But
Because
what I'm wondering is, like, who built the drivers for it? Is what I'm wondering.
I'm going to
like,
guess that the drivers are just preloaded from and through Steam. So,
well, there would have to be system level drivers to get it to work to begin with.
Yeah. You had to jump through some serious...
So if I plug it in, like that's... I would have to look through this and see, like...
You could, before, do it, but you had to download, like, multiple things. So this, I think, just streamlines the whole process and almost probably makes it feel like it's an Xbox One controller where it's like, boop, oh, it just works.
Right. Interesting. I mean, I guess if you already have... I definitely wouldn't be buying one of those controllers over, like, an Xbox One controller.
And it actually supports the gyroscope.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So
that controller is expensive as balls.
It is expensive as balls. You know what pisses me off about that controller?
It's $80 in Canada.
There's no headphone jack.
Also,
like, that's so annoying. Like the Switch, I can't play on my TV at night.
Right, because you can't plug your headphones in.
Well, I can, because I'm lucky, because my TV has Bluetooth, and I can sync my Bluetooth speaker, like headphones, to my TV. But still, it's like, I have my gaming set that I use with my Xbox, my PS4, my PC, and if there was a headphone jack, I could just plug the effing thing in.
Right. Which is totally what I do for my
I feel like
PS4.
I feel like that's a huge oversight, but...
Speaking of headsets, did you happen to buy the Atmos one that we were looking at earlier?
No. I just posted a photo of it. I've still been meaning to do my Atmos education because I don't really understand what it is. Like, you can buy it, unlock the feature on Xbox for $10, which gives it to you on PC. And then from my understanding, it just works with your existing headset.
Well, yeah, because it's a software emulation, right?
Yeah, so you don't need an Atmos headset. There isn't technically really such a thing. It's just the software built into your hardware.
Right.
So, like, I could buy it on my Xbox and my Logitech set, I would be getting Atmos sound, I guess, playing Xbox One X.
Well, you would... How would I explain this? Like... I guess if you're using your headphones,
yes,
that might work. Definitely not out of your regular system. Like out of your regular, obviously, unless you bought an Atmos 5.1 or 7.1 Atmos system, which would then make
that's what's confusing to me is like it's sound like it seems like it just works with your existing stuff.
It totally does not. That's my point, is what I'm getting at. Is like Atmos...
So then it doesn't work with my headset, so why would I buy it then?
So like... Well, because you're talking about software versus hardware. They're different, right? It's the same way that I can buy a pair of headphones and I can have Dolby 5.1 out of the headphones using software, but that still doesn't mean that like my amplifier that I've bought has 5.1, but it only is going to work with 5.1 if I have the 5 speakers and the sub, right?
Yeah.
It's the same way with Atmos. It's just that with Atmos, you have to have more speakers. Like, because essentially what Atmos is it's the depth that you don't have right now. So when you create like 5.1
a little more
or 7.1,
up and down, right?
Yeah, well, you have the soundscape that's around you at a certain level, whereas as I understand it, they actually can like... And I'm sure somebody could much better write in and tell us exactly how this all works. But my understanding with Atmos is it does a couple of things. One is that it actually includes depth, like a height, like up and down. So you're actually adding vertical sound, but also that they can actually start pinpointing sounds and make that sound come from exactly where they want. So like if they're like, this sound should be coming from this direction at this height, like not just a left, right, back, front, but like they can actually pinpoint it to more directions. Does that make sense? So it's like a mix of those two technologies. So yeah, like if you have an Atmos system, it generally means like you could do like a 5.1 plus Atmos, but then it's going to be, I believe it's like almost like a 5.2 or a 5.4 system, because you're going to have your regular speakers that you would set up, but then you're going to also have the extra like 4 Atmos speakers that you're going to add that verticality to your sound. So yeah, as I understand it, when done properly, it sounds insane. But yes, when you're talking about it from on your computer, you're talking about the same way that like my headphones that I have, like I have a set of Logitech headphones and I have a set of Razer headphones, and I can have both of those using quote unquote Dolby surround sound using software on my computer, right? To make the sound like it's 5.1, whereas really I only have 2 speakers one in each ear, right? It's the same kind of general idea where they're taking the Atmos and making it sound different using software out of, and they charge you the $10 or whatever it is to do that. That being said, I also think that in the case of like the headphones that we were looking at earlier in the week, those headphones are certified to be able to do that with Atmos. So I do think it's a 1-2 thing. Like I'd think that you could, if you had a regular set of headphones that you didn't already have that weren't Atmos certified, I don't know if you would actually be able to get all of those extra like sounds, the verticality and stuff like that in your regular headphones.
Mm-hmm.
That's at least my understanding. Like
my headphones are 7.1.
Right. But is that a virtual 7.1? Like you don't actually have 7 speakers in there, right?
I doubt it.
Right.
I don't think any of them have 7 speakers in them.
There's been a couple that have actually created headphones with like actual multiple speakers. I know Razer had a 7.1 setup that actually had, I think each ear had 4 speakers or something like that in them, to create like an actual 7 or 5.1 or whatever it was. That being said, because your headphones are so small and compressed, it's not the same as having like speakers set up in a room. You don't get that same effect. So
yeah, I'm so confused. So it seems like you need new hardware.
Pretty much.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
So there you go. And this has been your Dolby Atmos Minute.
I really thought it just worked with existing stuff.
Sorry, man. They got to get the money out of you somehow.
Yeah, I guess. Well,
like I said, again, it's, via digital / like software stuff, they can probably do a very good job of getting that very similar, but it's probably not going to be quite the same.
Yeah, I'm on the Logitech forum and people are like, please add Atmos support for the G933s.
Right.
Yeah, so it's virtual. If you get the plugin on Windows, it's virtual.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
So I guess if you unlock it on the Xbox, it'll do the virtual to any headset you have plugged in there.
Right.
So obviously, yeah, your results will vary from headset to headset.
Totally. So obviously, if you have a headset that's more designed for it, then it's probably going to work a little better, etc., etc.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where are we on the outline? That's
getting
it.
Sidetracked is what we're getting at.
Nintendo news. Nintendo has a new president.
I saw that. He's quite a bit younger than their last one.
He was the interim president since Iwata passed away almost 3 years ago now.
Right.
He's 46.
Wait, hold on. The guy that they just hired was a different guy than the intern. Right? Like they had a guy.
Never mind. You're right.
Okay. Sorry. I was wait a second. This is different.
Kimishima 68 has been replaced by Shintaro Furukawa, who's 46.
Yeah.
And he was from the Pokemon. He was part of the Pokemon Company board member.
Mm-hmm.
And 46 years old, which makes me very depressed because he is only 4 years older than me and runs Nintendo.
Here's an interesting fact. He's going to be one of the first, he's going to be the first, obviously CEOs, but one of their top execs as well at Nintendo. He grew up playing
Nintendo,
the NES, and he's going to be their first CEO that's ever done that.
Unlike
all the other guys were much, much older when obviously Nintendo came into its own, right? Yeah. So that's kind of interesting to see like how somebody whose life has not only been changed and molded by Nintendo in his adult years, but also in his formative years growing up as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's young blood. Nintendo's killing it, so
yeah.
It'll be neat. Maybe some of their ironclad ways might change with the younger head on its shoulders.
Or maybe they'll manage to fix some of the stupidity that they've managed to always have.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Nintendo, speaking of Nintendo, obviously, they've also highlighted some of their E3 plans. They're having a Smash Brothers tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Rumors their booth is going to primarily be Smash Brothers. They're going to be doing Nintendo, their E3 Direct will be Tuesday morning, 9 a.m., just like last year's morning, first day of the show before it opens up.
Right.
And they'll be running their Treehouse stuff during the show. And yeah.
So pretty much the
Smash
standard...
is there. We're going to be playing Smash.
Right.
And they're doing the Smash Invitational.
Which I find amusing because they haven't even... We don't know if this is a new Smash game. We don't know, like...
Yeah, well, that question is going to be answered. I have a feeling that it is, like... They're not going to call it Deluxe because I think they're going to add enough new characters that they're going to consider it to be its own thing. But I feel like it's going to be the same game that's on Wii U, but on Switch. New stages, new characters. So...
Right.
In that regard, they won't call it a deluxe because it will have new content plus all the old content, whereas the other ones were like basically just rehashes of the Wii U games with nothing new in particular for the Switch.
Right. They just
like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the Switch version of Mario Kart 8, but it didn't have any new stuff for the Switch.
Right. It was essentially all the DLC and everything rolled up into it.
Everything rolled into
calling it a deluxe or whatever.
Yeah, right. So I have a feeling this is going to be Smash for Switch. They're not going to call it Deluxe because they have already teased and kind of said there's going to be new characters. So
I'm really hoping that it's a whole new game. I hope they start fresh.
Yeah. I'm fine with it being the same engine. And
I'm sure it'll probably be the same engine because they've already got it and they've already ported characters,
it, right? Plus more, plus new stages, plus new modes. I'm fine with that. That is a new game. And I won't be upset if it's a deluxe mode with just new characters either way.
Right.
Because that game didn't get enough play because the Wii U didn't get enough play.
It's also true.
Do you remember the shooter Ikaruga?
Yeah.
It's coming to Switch.
That game was fucking hard.
Yeah. It was announced, yesterday? It's coming... May 29th to the Switch, and I believe it's not very expensive. I think they said it was like $15 US.
I mean, that makes sense. That game's pretty old. That was originally a Saturn game?
No, Dreamcast.
It's a Dreamcast?
Yeah, I have it in the other room.
Are you sure it didn't also come out on the Saturn?
Pretty sure it's Dreamcast.
Oh no, there's no doubt in my mind that it also came out on Dreamcast.
I'm pretty sure I own it, and it's sitting on my shelf in the other room. It's also, I think, on every other system as well.
Yeah.
GameCube, Dreamcast, and Android.
Yeah. Xbox 360, Windows, Nintendo Switch.
And arcade. Interesting. I haven't seen the arcade version.
Yeah.
I forgot it was on 360. I own it on 360.
That re-release, right?
I own it on 360, and I believe it's a back-compat game even.
But I was wrong. Dreamcast originally.
Yeah. It's a great shooter. It's a bullet hell shooter with like an interesting game mechanic that your ship can switch back and forth from black and white mode. And when you're black in the black mode, your ship is invulnerable to black lasers and bullets. And when you flip over to white, it's invulnerable to white and white lasers and bullets. And of course, you do more damage to the opposite color of the mode you're currently in.
Yep. Like
and you also
it's a crazy game.
And you also immediately die if you get hit by the opposite color you are.
Yes.
So there's like big power-up charge attacks. It's a cool game.
Speaking of...
It's hard as balls.
Yes. It's not even that long either. That was the other thing. Like, it's, what, five or six levels?
Yeah, I feel like it's 5 or 6 stages. I don't think I've ever beaten it.
That being said, it's actually... I know we're backtracking a little bit here, but I've been playing a game on my phone called Hawk.
Like hawk, like the bird?
Yeah, it's called... Give me 2 seconds here. There's like an underlying... It's called Hawk Freedom Squadron. And I'm playing it on Android, obviously. And it's a similar style of game. It's like it's a top-down...
I think I saw ads for this on YouTube.
Kind of a bullet hell style. You get different planes and you can upgrade your planes and you can buy multiple planes and like it's free to play, obviously. I haven't paid any money and I haven't felt like that there is a need to. I mean, obviously it's like any mobile game, it's there, it's in your face, whatever. But it's been really good. Like the stages are fun. They keep adding stuff. I've never, like, there is a sort of a fuel mechanic that in order to play a stage, you use up certain amount of fuel cells. So, I mean, at least in theory, if you run out, you'll have to wait while they recharge or whatever. But that being said, I've never ran out. And I currently have like 400 out of 100. So, I mean, you get more when you beat stages and log in and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's been a lot of fun. It's like, again, it's a mobile game, so it's not, don't be looking for a ton of craziness or anything, but like it is honestly like there's a multiplayer mechanic where you can play other levels with other players. And when you do that, you get these, like, there's a second kind of currency that you can use. It's called bro points. You're helping you're helping a bro out. Which then you can use the bro points to buy items and things like that. So it's kind of, there's like this incentive to try and like help other players and stuff like that, which is kind of a neat idea. Like I said, there's a level up mechanic. You can level up your ship. You can buy more ships. There's also like these like little robots like that are like side ships. They call them brobots. Yeah, I know. It's a little bit cringeworthy, but it works really well. And then you can also level up the brobots. So you can have 2 of them at any time, and they're like side. You have a right one and a left one. And so like while you're playing it, they shoot and you can get different ones. So like some of them fire kind of like regular type bullets. Some of them fire like lasers. Some of them shoot like rockets. And of course, as you level them up, you'll shoot more rockets and they also do more damage. You kind of get the idea, but, yeah, but kind of a similar vein as like a 1942 or like an Ikaruga or something like that.
Yeah. It's got a 4.7 on Google Play Store.
And that's the thing, is it's straightforward. You touch the screen and wherever you move your finger on the screen, that's where your ship is going to move to. So I mean, controls are really good, and yeah, it's all in all, like, it's been a lot of fun. I've just kind of been dabbling in it on and off. Like, it's, again, levels aren't super long, so it's like a perfect game if you've got, a couple of minutes. You can easily like jump in, do a level. Each level has 3 stars, so you can do a level on easy, then come back, do a level on normal, then come back, do a level on expert. If you run into problems, you can like always ask for like help, for somebody to like jump into your game and like try and help you out, to pass the level. Every so often.
Multiplayer?
Yeah, absolutely. They come on, like, you see both of the ships and like it's it's really cool. And there's also like little gates every so often where like you'll have to have so many stars before you can proceed further into like the chapter or whatever. And I mean, I think that part of it makes sense because otherwise you would just go easy stars, and then you'd never play anything on a normal or a higher difficulty. There's also levels that are specific to the different planes. So like different planes have different stats. So like some planes have like tons and tons of armor, but they don't do a lot of damage. Some planes have tons of damage, but they don't have a lot of armor. Some are kind of more medium. Some have like lasers. Some have rockets that fire out. Like, so they all kind of have like special abilities. It's surprisingly deep. There is a ton of levels. Like there's, I think 2 chapters right now. And there's 500 levels, I think, in the first chapter. So like that kind of gives you an idea. I've been playing for like maybe a week now. Closer to 2 weeks probably. And I'm on level 56. And there is, like I said, there is 537 stars to get in the first chapter, which looks like 120 levels. So that's in chapter 1. That's 120 levels. Like I said, I'm roughly halfway there from a level perspective, but definitely not a star perspective. I've got 133 stars at the moment, and I need 160 to move into the next area. That's assuming after I finish like the next couple levels to get to where that becomes a wall. Certain levels, like I said, are like sort of gated to the different planes. So there's different levels that you'll do that you need a specific plane for to get that level. There's also boss levels where you're fighting like a big boss. Usually those levels, if you beat the boss on like the highest difficulty, it usually unlocks a plane that you can then purchase. You can purchase a plane using in-game currency or their gem currency. To be totally fair, I haven't really had a problem getting gems. It's like one of those things where there's daily challenges that you do, and a lot of those will give you gems.
It's a mobile game.
Yeah, of course. But like you seem to be able to get like in-game currency fairly well, as like it doesn't seem to be that difficult either.
So you might be spending money if you're super impatient.
Yeah, I have like I said, I own right now, I have 5 planes in the game, and you're only using one at a time and like really leveling up and getting it better. And you start off with a level C plane, and then you can upgrade it into a level B plane, and then you can level it into a level A plane. And I believe there's like a level S as well. So like while you play the game, you get like they're almost like little puzzle pieces. And when you get enough puzzle pieces for your specific plane, you can then upgrade that plane to the next level. So like I've managed to get one of my planes to a level A now. But I also have 2 level B planes and a level C plane. So like
a C plane,
but the robots have a similar thing as well. So you can have, I have 2 level B robots now. So, and like they have a level up system. So of course, as you like, you're only able to get to level 60 when they're level B, but when you upgrade them to level A, it unlocks another 30 levels. So then you can go to level 90. So it's like, so there's like all of these different incentives to keep playing, and there's a ton of diversity. There's a lot of I've been surprised at how well, like, I feel like it's one of those things that could have been really, really hamstrung along by its mobile side and like making you want to.
And it isn't.
But yet, like I said, I haven't felt the need to spend any money. I seem to be getting gems and in-game currency fairly rapidly, and yet I'm having fun playing it. So, yeah.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah. give it a shot. And, if you do decide to check it out, anybody, let me know, message me or whatever, and I'll give you my game and we can play a bit as well. So
moving along. I don't have any PlayStation specific news. A lot of the cross-platform stuff falls into PlayStation. Xbox news. Microsoft has shut down the Halo Online fan mod.
That was a weird mod because they started that off as their own thing, right? Like they're the ones that started that. Then they canceled it and the fans decided that they were going to keep going forward with it, which then Microsoft stepped in and said like, well, sorry guys, we can't really have that.
At first they were fine with it. And then
until their lawyers got involved and said, guys,
and then it's like, no,
this.
you can't let them do that.
Yeah, IP and what that is, and it sucks.
So now the engine they could continue using, it would just be the Halo assets. So potentially they can remove the Halo assets
and keep moving forward with that.
Them forward, but right now they're shut down. People are pretty excited for this, but basically it's a free to play. It was basically a free to play PC game based on Halo 3,
right?
So
if I remember, it was also like for Russia and China or something, though, wasn't it? Like I don't remember this being a thing that they were planning on releasing over here.
Yes, that sounds about right.
So at least for me, it's like, well, okay. A thing I was never going to play is not coming out.
To be honest, I'm so over Halo.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even like excited for
Halo 6 that might be coming out.
Whatever the next one is.
I mean, there's rumors that we might see that at E3 this year, maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised. It has to be there.
Yeah.
And it has to have a battle royale mode.
You think so? No. I mean, the battle royale mode you might be right about, but
we'll see. I'm if it's not at E3 this year, they're in trouble. But does Halo carry the same cachet as it has? I don't think so. I think it's fallen big time from where it was.
I think you are underestimating. There's still a lot of people out there that play Halo.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's true.
I mean, even Halo, like Halo 5 multiplayer competitive is still a pretty big esport.
Yeah, they just had their world championship.
Like part of that is because Microsoft puts a ton of money on the line for it, so it's worth it for people, but I mean,
it's big. I wouldn't say it's huge.
Right.
And I also, like I said, I don't think Halo moves consoles just like Gears anymore.
I agree with that statement.
The Microsoft franchises are a far cry from where they once stood.
Because I think they haven't been moving them forward enough. They're too samey.
Exactly. They haven't iterated and refined and made them better. They're just essentially exactly the same thing every time. And after doing that like 2-3 times, fans are just kind of like, there's better stuff that's moving ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the last Gears game. It was fun.
No, I enjoyed the last Gears, and
but as soon as I finished it, I didn't want to play any more of it. I was like, cool, I finished the story, I'm good to go.
I wouldn't say they're anything like the new God of War. It's like an amazing reimagination of a franchise that, that we had 3 games of already, right?
Yeah.
7 if you count all the portable games.
Yeah. Plus Ascension and
that's
stuff.
like, wow, everyone's like madly in love with that. Like, I would love to see like a reimagination or reinvention of both those franchises would be fantastic, because they're great franchises, but they're just stale.
Yeah. I think that's really hard for them. Like how do you've got so many people that love those franchises and want them to stay the way they are, but you obviously have a ton of people that want them to be new and different. Where do you sort of draw that? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, how do you cater to?
I think.
How do you bring new people in and make them interested without totally segregating your base that has been following you along and loving your games since the original Halo, right?
Yeah,
I think that's hard. I think it's really hard.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they've been
trying to do that, but
they're in such a tough place with all their franchises right now.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't envy Microsoft at all.
No,
they got a big hill to climb.
Yeah, speaking
they're not
of
doing
actually,
bad by any. They're not doing bad by any means, but man, they've really lost a lot of mind share.
Yeah,
and they're getting their ass handed to them with lack of exclusives.
I actually got Forza 7.
You said that last week as your
I haven't
Christmas
played it.
present from your bro.
Yeah, I haven't even opened it yet, or I haven't had a chance. But yeah, speaking of franchises that are there.
Well, moving along, Dane. Public service announcements, we ain't got none. Except for maybe go review us on iTunes. Enter our contest while you still have a week left.
Well, obviously.
Details in the show notes. And free for all. I saw Infinity War. Dane has not.
I have not.
So we can't really talk about it, but I can talk about it a bit. Go see it. It's one of the best Marvel movies. It's top 3.
Yeah.
For sure. Probably number 1.
Wow.
It's so good. Oh my god.
That's pretty high praise. That's good.
It's pretty rad. I didn't expect it to come together as well as it did, especially considering, like, to be honest, like, Age of Ultron was good.
It was enjoyable, but it wasn't great.
It wasn't like Guardians or Black Panther,
right?
Or even like Thor Ragnarok. It's like a really wicked adventure all around. Or even Doctor Strange. Like, so much stuff has been so good in the Marvel Universe. So, like, Ultron was kind of like, eh. Like, you could say it was almost bad compared to the other Marvel movies. And, like, I think it's not bad at all. Yeah. It's just like the caliber of the stuff they've been doing. It's like, that was a movie.
I think it was, again, it was a movie that felt too similar to the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was awesome, and if the previous one wouldn't have come out, we all would have been like, holy shit, that was incredible. Yeah, but because of the previous one, it was like, well...
I was concerned, obviously, with this movie, because it's got everyone.
Yep.
Like, it literally has everyone that they've ever created. And there's a few people missing, but for the most part, it's a full squad. Stay away from spoilers on the internet if you still haven't seen it. There are some major spoilers.
Yep.
Actually, one of the biggest spoilers is a meme right now, which is really hard to avoid. So
I've been doing really well. So
I warn you on that front. But man, go see it. I want to talk about it after you watch it.
Yeah.
But it does not disappoint. It's dope. I want to watch it again. I don't watch movies in the theater again.
Yeah.
I will watch this again.
That's awesome.
Someone I follow on Twitter was already going to watch it their third time before I had even watched it once.
Wow.
They went like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
I know people that did that with Black Panther. I was just like, wow, really? Like, that was probably what pushed me into seeing it as like much as I wanted to, because I was just like, geez, if you've already seen it 3 times, like, okay, fuck, like, it must be good. I must go see it then. Like, yeah. Not that I didn't want to see it anyways, but it made you go really like, holy god. Like,
I think Black Panther's on VOD soon, or and retail.
Yes, it comes out very soon.
With that, Dane, I can say we're going to have a show.
I think I agree.
Episode 154 is in the gigabits, the ether, the internet, the hard drives, your ear holes. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF, no K, RICF.
I'm also on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
And if you're living under a rock and just tuned in, which is, I think, almost impossible on a podcast, remember our SNES Classic giveaway. It's the short link is bit.ly/SNES Classic Mini Giveaway, and that's bit.ly/. SNES Classic Mini giveaway, and it'll take you straight to the page with all the details on how to enter that. Basically, just review us on iTunes. Subscribe to us on youtube.com/Geekoholics. Like us on facebook.com/Geekoholics. Follow us on Twitter @Geekoholics and Instagram @Geekoholics as well. And that's about it. Until next week, we are out.
Till next week.
Peace.